Alright, response video to a Thunderfoot video. Not properly titled. The Amazing Universe, amazing. Through the eyes of a scientist. Now, isn't this just, what's the point of associating science with the words like amazing and beautiful and all this other mush? It's such an insult to science, to logic, to how you really do know the truth. You're not going to know the truth by asking yourself, how does it make me feel? Wrong question.
On a rock, hurtling through space at many times the speed of a rifle bullet, in the darkest night stands a man with his head turned upwards. He stands in a glowing archway that spans from horizon to horizon. It's beautiful. His heart moved almost to tears by the immutability of the sight.
His heart moved almost to tears. This is science? Through the eyes of a scientist? Or maybe you're just saying, well, I'm a scientist, but this is how I have sex. So this is like your sex tape or something. Like you're a scientist, but you got a really big dick, so you do porn films on the side. And something like that, maybe. I don't know, maybe Carl Sagan did some porn films. I don't know. I mean, what the fuck is this shit? I mean, what? You can find beauty anywhere, okay? Go look at some slides of a syphilis microbe. Oh, it's magnificently beautiful. I'm sure the AIDS virus, I'm sure they probably have some sort of, micro slices of a brain, that died from AIDS, and there's probably all kinds of wonderful little artifacts created by the diseases that the AIDS virus caused. And there's so many little worms, like I said, syphilis, and you got tuberculosis. Oh, what beautiful little worms as they wiggle through the tissue. Ooh, shiny, shiny, pretty, pretty.
He breathes the thin mountain air and feels the atmosphere, and as his eyes roll upwards, he perceives it thinning to nothing, less than 100 miles above his head. The orders of magnitude course through his brain. The nuclei, the electrons, the atoms, the molecules, the biomolecular arrays, the rates of the reactions within the cells, the emergent pattern allowing an organ to conceive the orders of magnitude of both itself.
The orders of magnitude. He said orders of magnitude 3 times. Yeah, wow. Look, neurons, brain tissue. Ooh. How come you don't have any worms? Come on. Show us some worms. Whatever this is. Yeah, right. It's a physical universe. Matter, energy. That's falling apart over time. Unraveling little bits at a time. Yeah, and we on this little planet in a galaxy that's going to smash into another galaxy and be obliterated, exist in this little temporary moment of time, and this is what we do with our intelligence. We talk about beauty and amazingness and awesomeness. Yeah, brilliant.
And the universe around it. He feels the solid ground, and a few thousand miles away beneath his feet he perceives the day, irradiated by that nearby star, currently obscured by the rock on which he stands. That star which is the
Wow, isn't that just brilliant? So he's standing on the earth, and he's looking up, and he's seeing the sun, which is down below his feet, in the other direction. Oh, and it's just all so fucking magnificent. Yeah. I mean, you could look at the iridescence on the back of what it was, bottlenose flies or something, eating a piece of shit. This beautiful iridescent green. Yeah, and you could do this whole blah, 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 and it's a fucking fly, and it's going to lay maggots. And it's going to turn something into the worst smelling pile of shit you ever come near. Right, so why don't you talk about the smelly of the universe and all this beauty of the universe? Why don't you talk about the smelly of the universe? So why don't you go to the morgue and give us some smell-o-vision here? That's what we need, some smell-o-vision.
Source of almost all of the energy which is currently powering his brain. His mind-eye clicks to the artificial satellites, a mere 100 or so miles above his head. And then the natural satellite, the moon, 250,000 miles away.
Yeah, well, look, 100 miles, I thought you said the atmosphere was 100 miles. So, I mean, the satellites aren't going to do too well in an atmosphere, so I think they're a little higher than that. Is they got to be above the atmosphere, or they're going to get all degraded by the atmosphere. But whatever, who cares? 100, 200, who cares? Who cares?
250,000 miles. He smiles. The car could have driven half the way down. Tap gravity. The terrestrial system drops away beneath his feet, and he feels the sun, some 400 times further away.
Right. Know what I think you're feeling? Yeah, I think you got your hands in your pockets and you're playing pocket pool, fella. What is this crap? I mean, this is not science. This is not useful. This is not intelligent. This is not logical. This does nothing to give people real perspective on what they're doing on this planet. 4 billion years of a cell evolving, a piece of DNA, lions killing leopards, termites killing ants, horrendous holocausts perpetrated, wars between animals perpetrated for millions of years of warfare, competing to do this stupid thing called survive. Why? For no reason. Because a DNA molecule started something, okay, without intent, without purpose, without a design mission. 500 million years of sentient creatures at fucking war. And this is how you contextualize our existence, with your little pretty colors and swirly lights and blah blah blinkety blinkety blinkety. You couldn't live on any of this stuff. You couldn't go near any of this stuff without dying of radiation sickness. But no, you'll just make it all pretty. And then pretend it's not what it is.
He smiles again. Gravity or not, Adam might cast leak. His mind becomes acutely aware of the gravitational well in which he stands.
So what the hell does that crap have to do with you're supposed to be standing on a mountain somewhere?
Body has been in this gravitational well for the best part of the last 4 billion years. He's
oh, wow. Isn't that so impressive? Yeah, so the planet's been around for 4 billion years. More than that. So why do you say 4 billion? You know it's been here at least 5 or 6. But anyway, you know, in some form or another. Yeah, so even that doesn't make much sense. But anyway, it's all like there's a point here. Oh, sorry. So you're thinking about gravity, and that's how you understand your life, and that's what's meaningful to you, is gravity. The fact that gravity exists gets you off.
They've been around, you know. He breathes out, and the hot, warm breath reminds him of the chemical flux as he perceives the water leaving his body. 90% of the atoms that were me last year ain't me this year. But right here, right now, is a convergence 1 billion years in the making. He stands on the dark side of this rock. He feels the earth curl away under his feet, and he sees...
A convergence 1 billion years in the making? Convergence of what? What? Come on.
The silver arch, and as his mind turns the earth invisible, the arch forms a halo, and he feels himself within the disk of the Milky Way, 1 trillion stars or so. He sees the local...
It's so scientific, you know, to use religious jargon. So it's a little heavenly halo. Is that what it is? Little halo? Yes, a little godly halo.
Nebula, barely visible to his mortal eyes, merely a few thousand light years away. Then the orbiting globular clusters around the disk of the galaxy some 100,000 light years in diameter. Then his mind-eye sees past the local foreground objects to the distant galaxies and quasars, mind-bending scales that would render the sun all but invisible. The man standing under the silver arch smiles. The universe is fucking
Oh, well, I guess we ought to hear the last line. Awesome. The universe is fucking awesome. Right. Alright, so whatever. So this is how you look at life. This is how you understand what we're doing here. So we're just here to sit around and talk about how big space is. Right? That's an accomplishment. Let's just talk about, oh, space is really big. Let's be very impressed. And then we're done. We've satisfied our mission statement here on Earth. I mean, geez. Again, this isn't a scientific context for our existence. This is just glorification, reverence. This is all unscientific. Beauty, being moved by your emotions or feelings, by pretty colors. I mean, it's you know, transparently, it's quite obviously just psychology. You're just talking psychology. You're not talking science. It's just so disappointing. So whatever, yeah, there's nothing you can do with these people. I mean, people are just going to glorify the human experience, glorify the human existence as if we're doing something different than what creatures on this planet have done forever, which is consume very, very inefficiently, wasting a preposterous amount of suffering. So bravo, give yourself all a fucking trophy. Yeah, my statement is you suck, period. That's all I can say to it. Is it just plain sucks that intelligence can't do better than this. Because this is really, really, really fail. So, the end. Thank you very much. Really disappointing. You know, pink balloon. Pink balloon. Look, blue balloon. Little blue balloon. Little blue balloon. Yay! Let's all chase the little blue balloon. Yay! Oh, add on. Yeah, I'll post a link to a much better 3-minute, 4-minute video about the truth of unintelligent design. Yeah, you know, the gray video. Yeah. You ought to try posting that as a response to Thunderf00t's video here. I wonder how many responses he's got here. He won't accept my responses. I'll try, but he's not going to accept it, I know. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 5, 6 across 12, 13. Yeah. Alright, they're all unrelated, of course. There is rape in my Bible. Evidence for God. So apparently this is a religious nut. So anyway. Yeah. Bring it. A bunch of unrelated crap videos. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Yeah, of course. The response video should be unrelated crap. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. It's very scientific.